Hello, my noble band of outlaws. Outlaw Samurai coming at you live with a video. Well, something unexpected came for me while I was visiting a friend, and that is my Qing DAO. Now, I know, so it is off of Amazon. I know I said something about ordering a Qing DAO offline a while back, and now that it's finally came, be careful not to split the thing completely open. Here it is in the sword bag. Very economic packaging, to say the least. Though it is from China. Now I hold it. This has a nice weight to it. Without further ado, don'ts, and probably shouldn't, I've already nicked the sword bag on the bottom. But let's have the grand unveil, shall we? Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. The advertised length on this Qing DAO is supposed to be around 42 inches long, which would officially make this the longest sword in my collection. And I think this might even be the heaviest sword in my collection. Not entirely certain about that at this point. Be extra careful not to cut the handle wrapping. Oh, this is just beautiful. The entirety of this sword, to me, just screams beauty. Now, you might be wondering what the tassel on the end is for. A lot of Chinese swords have these tassels on the end as a counterbalance for the blade, but this, as I'm holding it, doesn't really have a whole lot of weight to it. Not very weighty. But, like a very famous sword reviewer says, let's start at the kashira, or the pommel. Now, if you notice, the pommel has what I would say is a cherry blossom motif, very much attuned to sakura blossoms. That's my take on it. The guard, I'm going to be using Tsuba, pommel, guard interchangeably, since I don't know the actual Chinese names for these. So, this would be the kashira, or the pommel. This is more of a pommel anyway, so as you can see, it obviously has the cherry blossom motif. I'm assuming this to be fake leather wrapping here on the grip. This was $150, so I'm not expecting like real, genuine, like ox skin or whatever the hell kind of leather they would have used in the Qing Dynasty in Japan, or the Qin Dynasty. In Chinese, I do know the Q makes a ch sound, so there's that. More cherry blossoms. The guard, if I can get it in the light, has a very nice ornate pattern. I like the ridge on it. The pattern seems to be different on this end of the Tsuba, or guard. The blade collar up here shares the cherry blossom motif. The sword suspension hangers are very tight. I cannot move them. They too have the flower design. This looks to me like paracord, a very good choice if you're looking to save costs, because paracord is very resilient. And here, the chape, or the end cap, also shares the flowery motif design. The whole sword, from what I can gather, as I step back and hit some trash bag full of soda cans, the whole sword, from what I can gather, is a flower-based motif, which doesn't turn me off to the sword. I'm not against flowers. You could say I'm not really a flowery kind of guy, but I wanted a DAO for a while now, and this is the only DAO I could afford. There seems to be some form of stitching right here. Use the tip of the knife. So you can see there seems to be some sort of stitching right here. So I'm assuming this is fake ray skin. Fake Samagawa ray skin that's been wrapped around here. The paracord knot is very well done. The tassels I like. Got these little beads on here. I might take this off depending on how I feel about it. I definitely might take this tassel off because while I don't have a problem with tassels on swords, it's when they have these big gaudy fittings that bump around and get in your way that I have a problem with. I don't remember what type of steel this is supposed to be, but I'm assuming at the bare minimum 1045, 1060. But you've heard me ramble on and on enough. Let's see the blade. Oh! This is... Now this is a fit. It's going to take me a while to get this thing broken. Oh. Oh. Blade appears to be almost perfectly straight. There's a very ever so slight bend in it to what I can tell. But a slight bend in the blade isn't going to affect its performance too much, I don't think. Oh. This feels nice. This is the most well-balanced sword I have. This is the biggest sword I have currently. But this is the most well-balanced. Like, this screams to me want to cut shit. And here again is the secondary flower pattern on the guard. It's got this, you could almost say is a Hamon line. It's completely dull. Beyond any shadow of a doubt, this thing is 100% dull. I mean, I'm literally pushing my hand into this. The only thing sharp on this is the very tip for stabbing. So, definitely going to have to put this through a few passes on the old work sharp. But let's see if I can't. Sorry, I'm trying to get a roll of paper towel out. Clean this blade off. Now, I don't know if this is supposed to be a practitioner DAO or not, but I have every intention of actually sharpening this DAO and using it to cut. And as I'm looking at the blade, it looks more like a hybridized version of a katana with a Yao Dao, with a Yongling Dao tip. Which Yongling Dao means goose quill. And there's a false edge right at here that goes from here to the tip. There's a false edge right here. It's been double fullered, with the fullers terminating here and here. The fullers actually terminate very well. They begin at the same spot and end at the same spot. Of course, you have like this Sharpie drawn Hamon line. The tip is similar to, like I said, a goose quill Dao or Yonglin Dao. It does have very nice distal taper down the blade, and the grip actually has enough room to fit 3 hands. This is the kind of grip I like, the long grip and the long blade. Now, given the fact that this thing's dull, I might just sharpen it from halfway up the blade. I might just sharpen it from about here, where my pinky is, up the blade, because historically speaking, if I'm not mistaken, Asiatic swords from Asia, they only really get sharp about 3/4 up the blade. So everything down here, from here to basically here on a Oriental blade, historically made, is pretty much dull or blunt. They only really start to get sharp as you go up the blade. And that's because in sword fighting, you actually want the part of the blade closest to your hand to be blunt, so you can block with the blunt part and cut with the sharp part. That is what I've heard. I am not 100% sure on that, but that's basically what I'll do. I won't sharpen the entire blade, just the part of the blade that I need for cutting. And if I hold this pesky tassel, it has a takikaze. It has a takikaze. It makes the sword wind sound because of the fullers. But am I disappointed with this sword? The answer is 80% no, 20% yes. The things I'm disappointed about: it came with a slight bend in the blade, and the blade is completely dull. Those are the things that I'm complaining about, but the edge on this thing is thin enough that you could easily just put it through a couple passes on a work sharp and put an edge on this. Am I pleased with my purchase? Yes. Would I buy another one of these? Questionable. But here's the thing. I can put an edge on this thing and it will be fine. Other people will buy I'm assuming they made these swords for the guys that will just hang them up on a wall and they'll just look pretty, not for the guys who intend to cut shit. This is a fully functional sword. I can feel that it wants to cut stuff. When I swing down with it, I feel as if it wants to cut things. I might attempt to straighten out the sword blade. A little bit. Or I might just leave it with a slight bend and see if it gets worse. But in any case, I am pleased with my purchase. I don't regret it. And if worse comes to worse, I could just put this on the wall and look at it. So, there's that. And the scabbard is also very nice. The wood, I think, is of decent quality. This might be some kind of hardwood. Might not. It has a reddish color to it, if you can tell. But yeah, all in all, very good sword. Would I recommend buying it to someone else? Not 100%. But if you're looking for something that's cheap, easy to pick up and use, and isn't going to break your bank, I say go for it. And it looks like there's something here at the bottom. This is either some kind. This is, I think, some sort of nut for this thing. I'm not going to try to take it off and see, but it does kind of draw the eye, considering that the whole sword is black except for up here. Ooh. That makes a nice sound. That is a nice sound. The point of percussion seems to be about here. So yeah, definitely sharpen from here up. Let's see here. Yep. Point of balance with tassel is about where you want it, about 5 inches from the guard. And even choking up on the pommel. A lot of people will complain, oh, this bites into my hand, this scratches up my hand. This does not, I'm choking up on all of this, and it doesn't actually bite into me at all. Now, I might have a different view of what biting into me actually means, but to me, it's not biting in at all. You can get this sword off of Amazon. It's a Qing DAO for $150. And that's pretty much all I gotta say about it. So, until next time, my noble band of outlaws, Outlaw Samurai, tells all y'all, be crazy rednecks, be safe in using your weapons, and I'm out. Peace. Well, shouldn't say, I think I said that right.